All right, so it's week 5, day 3. We're started the scaffolding of our week 5 task yesterday. Today is the wiring. So yeah, today's going to be the hinge day. Monday was about getting started. Wednesday, tomorrow is going to be another integration run. I'm actually running merges from week 4 stuff just right now, so I'm late on that a little bit. I was trying to get to it, but before class today at least. But we're getting things together. So yesterday, what should have been worked on is the Angel and Fabian got the evaluation baseline running. Fatima and Nestor got the extract context working, extract tasks in the first call of GPT 4.0 mini. Uh, and then Brian and Emilio, you guys worked on the enrichment agent scaffold with the compute quality score returning between 0 and 1. And then Juan and Enrique resolve company with placeholders, and you got the end-to-end process running. Um, Does this all look right to you guys? Or you guys feel like this is where you're at, behind or ahead? I just want to,
Yes.
yeah, okay, cool. Cause I want to kind of check in with everybody, make sure we're here because this is, you know, if this goal isn't done, this is got to be our first priority is getting these things on before we move on to the next items.
Yeah, and I wanted to say for me and Angel, that looks like we have the baseline already. We're about four versions up from the baseline, so that looks good.
Awesome. Yeah, and once I get this all merged together, I'll run it and give any feedback to people. I'll probably just apply fixes, but I'll put the notes on the pull request so you can see them. If there's anything that's substantial, I'll probably give, but if it's just minor fixes like getting signatures, like changing dictionary types to job record and stuff. I saw that was one thing. The pipeline runner was using dict as a type where we want to make sure we're running a job record through. So little things like that, I'll just fix and make a note of it to share with you guys, just so you're aware. But other than that, if it's something major, um, that doesn't meet spec, I'll probably open up a pull request off a development issue. I'll probably open an issue for you guys to fix where you can fix in the branch and share as a pull request, right? And attach the issue to it as resolved. And this is merged. This is basically a slide for me. You got to get these merged in. I know we want to merge your week 4 work in, so I know you have a draft right now. I'll probably just don't actually make it ready. I'll just work from the branch that's on that Angel and Fabian. Does that make sense? Everyone else is all I'm merging in, but yours I'll merge in, but it's not a pull request attached to it. I'll just grab the branch and merge it in, and that won't affect anything for you guys. You'll be able to pull um, a merge development back in just fine. We might just want to like squash commits so it's not like messy, so there's not commits showing a bunch. But I could do that later if it's too messy, just to clean up the commit history. So we should have these merged pretty quickly. So then for Angel and Fabian today is your prompt iteration. So if you got the other things working, you got those issues open, right? About prompt iteration, I do believe. Um, so you want to analyze the per category breakdown, like the weakest skill categories, the missed tools, and apply prompt revisions one at a time. It's really important that these things are because your eval numbers are the first like objective measure, right? So without this, without the data from, um, he's pair A. Well, I try to keep this in names, not pair A. Yeah, but the eval numbers are the first objective measure. So without this data, prompt revisions are guesses, and the cost audit has no baseline. So basically, um, we gotta have this stuff to together so the cost audit could actually work effectively. do you Angel and Fabian, do you guys have numbers? Like, can you run the baseline? Do you have numbers you could share now?
Yeah, I have some screenshots actually of the results.
Cool. Yeah, we just drop them in this voice chat.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Cool. That way we can see them, but this and then we can all check them out. Yeah, and so as long as
Um,
the baseline's running good, it's good to move on to prompt iteration. But without, yeah, if the baseline needs some more work, it's important to get that dialed in.
just to clarify, Gary, that's the enhancement I was working on, right? Yesterday.
The enhancement you were working on yesterday.
Yeah, it was the prompt iteration, right? On tools and skills.
I Yes, but
Is
this
it?
is it the same one? Here, hold on. I'm actually going to find the answer to this for you right now. Exactly. 1 second. Let me just look through this. Yeah, so I'll get back to answering your question in 1 second. But today's goal is, we want greater than two prompt iteration cycles with before after metrics. I know you had the version 2, right, Brian? You guys had like the version 2 stuff you were working on.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, let's see how they relate real quick.
Fabian, how long does it took for you guys to run the cycle?
It whenever I ran it today, this morning, it took like 30 minutes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it takes long. Yeah, for me it took 15, but I don't know what will be the difference.
Yeah, so Brian, yours on the PR65, you worked on like skills and tools extraction, right? Which doesn't involve prompts, right? But your week 5 assignment is moved to consuming the downstream content. So you're consuming the extraction output now, not writing extraction prompts. And so then, so Angel and Fabian, after running their baseline, are targeting targeted prompt revision, right? So they're looking at after their baseline, they're looking at it and saying, oh, these are bad. Let's fix these issues. And so then I think you're doing the initial passes, is kind of getting it there so they could get a baseline, and then after they run their flows, they're getting feedback in their branches and revising it. Does that make sense?
Yes, we're just making sure.
Yeah. Well, I had to make sure too because I don't have it all committed to memory, so I have to go back and look. So yeah. Okay. Good.
I just pasted the results in the chat.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, and awesome. We got the F1 score in there now too. Cool. So yeah, so you, the evaluation baseline, then we prompted, and then we do the prompt iteration to revise that. Then we add ground truth labels for tasks, um, to extend the 5 dimensions. Extend extraction eval pi for all 5 dimensions, and then that depends on pair B having extractors producing output. I do believe that's pair B's Fabian and not Fabian, sorry, Fatima and Nestor, right? Usually I go through and edit out these pair B's kind of stuff because I use a skill tool to build these slides, and usually it replaces these, so it throws me off because I don't have everyone's pair. The pairs are great for the model to make connections, but it's really hard for me to associate pair B, pair A with people for some reason. So, um, so yeah, Fatima and Nestor, you complete all 3 extractors, so every extractor must produce output. Your guys' branch is already merged in. It looked good. That's when I got done before it started. So yeah, you guys got this stuff locked in. So today's goal: all 3 extractors producing structured output, context plus tasks integrated into the work intelligent agent. 10 to 20 records with tasks plus context columns populated. We did, Brian. I did get that schema fix done last night. Have you guys all pulled development into your branches? If you didn't, as part of my workflow, I was just pulling development in. But there was a significant shift that doesn't really affect too much. I shared the messages in Discord yesterday. But essentially, I'm just going to drop Prisma completely because it's just a layer that adds complexity, and it's not really applicable to what we're trying to do right now. And this is taking priority over the website work. So basically, I just made the call just to make SQL Alchemy our authoritative database ORM, so that way we don't have to worry about messing with Prisma. So that means some of the tables that SQL Alchemy wasn't touching, I just made models within SQL Alchemy in the migrations.py file. So there's added some models, and it shouldn't affect things too much. Where it did affect things where like job descriptions, for instance, was called out explicitly, so that some of that stuff had to be reworked a little bit, just to kind of point to the right models in the code. And so those are just small changes I made. It doesn't change any of the logic or work you did. It just kind of points to the right models. All right, so Brian and Amelia, you're working on spam detection and classification. So you got the quality scoring done. Tuesday's goal is to verify it with real data. So yeah, your OpenPR 65 showed you had active skills extraction polish on Monday, the version 2 prompt, the soft skill suppression. How much time did you spend on enrichment versus extraction polish yesterday?
Yeah, I think Emilio implemented the scaffold.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Emilio worked on it, and he's not here. Okay, yeah, he's not here. Okay.
I'm about to review it, but since you put it down, I believe you already reviewed it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on the review right now. Like as soon as we get done here and get finished working on that, I got it. I got Claude GPT actually making me a plan to merge, and what I do is I go through that plan and follow it. So I give it everything, and then it builds a plan, and then I step through, and I'm working through that plan right now. And I got Fatima and Nestor's branch merged in. So, and you guys understand the 3 spam tiers, right? The accepted, human in the loop, and then the reject. So,
Yes.
okay. So it's important that you guys coordinate with Juan and Enrique because you guys own the scoring, classification, and spam files, and they own the resolution, confidence, event files. Um, and so these all work together. So you guys, I think it's PR81. Let's check that out real quick. I'll pull it up once I get it on the screen. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Here it is. Let me add this. So this is Enrique's change. So here he just adds his files. You're not. It's not like a competing implementation. They want Enrique add modules, and so you guys add to it's. You guys are adding things together, but it just needs to be coordinated. You guys need to coordinate to make sure it all fits together. Things are passed. The types are passed the same, and if it doesn't, when I do my pass, there's kind of easy fixes. It's really easy to tell what's not like connecting and should be. So we just gotta adjust types and stuff. So it's not a huge concern with the given workflow, but
Still, we'll talk to them just to make
yeah,
sure.
talk to them. Like it's crazy to me because this is something that used to be like super important and like had to matter a lot. But really, if you are merging together nowadays, like it's like that doesn't the types don't align, just align to the spec, and then it's like okay, let me align all these types to the spec real quick, and then it's like okay, cool, test it, okay, it works, put it in, like you guys already did the logic, you got everything built out, and did your test, and they're looking at it closely, so just connecting it together is like pretty elementary now, but it used to be one of the most critical things in merging. Um, yeah, so then Juan and Enrique, you're gonna wire it all together, and so that PR81 is kind of a head start. Um, they got aligns with the schema changes I did. They already pulled that in. Thanks Enrique for doing that so quickly. You guys really got a head start on this, so. You just want to make sure that integration interface is agreed with Brian and Emilio, so you guys are just make sure you're using the same interface there.
So I have a question. So once Brian and Emilio finish their part, so I just go in and wire them with towers?
Yep, just gotta make sure it's wired
Or
together.
that's
Yep.
basically what I did yesterday with the VR fix.
Yeah, exactly. So once they get theirs in, you just gotta do a pass, make sure everything's wired together. So
Okay.
yeah, like here they're called out here the high priority stuff, the company name normalization, wiring the functions into process, um, the functions they created. Make sure they get added into the process function as being executed in there.
Okay, sounds good.
So on Wednesday, tomorrow we'll make sure that all 5 of the JSON columns are populated with real data, so we get skills, tools, tasks, responsibilities, and context. And we have clean passes. Um, and then the flagged ones, remember, we don't want to have anything. We want to have them written as null. So those ones that need human in the loop, we just set them to null. And then we have the rejected for spam tiers. So ideally that's set up tomorrow. And yeah, make sure we're creating companies if they don't exist in the companies table. That was part of that refactor yesterday. We just took ownership of the companies. I wanted to use that data because I have several companies that are created in the companies table already from our production database. It's not nothing, no sensitive data in there. It's just like public knowledge about companies, but it's actual companies we've worked with in the past and stuff. So it's actually real data. So I just want you guys to be able to use that to actually have a pool of information to, run tests against and have new proof of concept for your workflow. So you could use tables that exist there. I know Brian just has heard Brian and Emilio. I was walking through with you guys yesterday on the integration to look at the tables easily, so you could see like IDs and numbers and names to use and stuff. So you could like create like in your test like a record where you just have to create it. You could create a record, for instance, where you have to create a company and make sure it's being created correctly, and make sure it's pulling the ID from a company that already exists and the matching for the names and such. Fabian, did Angel talk to you yesterday at all about like the fuzzy matching with the package installation and the issue that was talked about installing the package?
Yeah, that was issue number 84. I have it in review already
Okay,
for you.
great, awesome. Issue 84. Oh, is it closed?
Oh, and you know what? No, it's there wasn't extra branches that are created for it. We actually pushed it to our branch, but in the project board under issue, I left a comment, like a note,
Oh,
and
okay, gotcha. I was just looking under
emits that
issues.
link to it.
Yep. Okay, cool. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Yeah, so back to this. So yeah, then we have the skills extracted event fires with the per dimension counts, a record enrich event fires with the rinse count, spam rejected count, and flag for review count, and then the audit log has entries for all LLM calls. For skills, we'll use 4.0. For tasks, we'll use 4.0 mini, and for responsibilities, we'll use Chat GPT 4.0. Context extraction consumes zero LLM tokens because it doesn't use it uses pattern matching and not LLMs. Yeah, so by end of day, Angel and Fabian, you'll have the eval harness with per dimension metrics. Fatima and Nestor, you'll have all three extractors producing output in the pipeline. Brian and Emilio, you'll have the spam, quality, and classification all correct. So that logic for the 3 tiers of spam should be worked on today. If if you're ahead, if anyone's ahead, that's great. We're kind of catching up with the last weeks. Last week we were behind, so that's good if we're getting caught back up. So Juan and Enrique, you're doing the company resolution plus record enriched payload. Just making sure that payload's correct. And that's one of the things I saw in there. You guys correctly used the job record as a type when you're passing it in to get your payloads. But the pipeline runner was using a dict, and it was just outputting the payload.output or whatever is what I was looking up the code. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it just needs to be changed on the pipeline runner so it's strict and we just adhere to the job record. And things like that I'll just fix that are generic like that, where it's not explicitly using a type. I'll make sure it uses a type. So this is just about those issues I was talking about yesterday that we created that involved more collaboration. So yeah, PR81 already has agent.py. Brian and Emilio, they add modules that so that need to that process calls, so they need to be added to the process, like I was just talking about a little bit ago in your case. So they have these functions they work on that need to be added into the process. And everything else is pretty straightforward. Juan and Enrique, you already have that in there. So this is an order that you guys kind of need to agree on. So inside the process function, it's going to call these things. So you got spam detection, quality scoring, role classification, then seniority, then company resolution. You know, this is kind of the order But spam first is important because we want rejected records, and we never don't want to consume resources for jobs that are detected. So the ones that we're going to reject, we immediately want to just get rid of first, and then go through our workflow process here. And this is the part you guys need to really get together on, is just need to agree on method signatures, the call locations in process, and like the error handling pattern. So you guys can work on it, and then just if one of you gets it done, you could always just propose it as the thing, and do a code review. And honestly, when you're looking at stuff, a good way to do this would actually be able to you could actually open up a pull request for review, and then assign the other people that you're working with. So whoever gets done first here, if you're doing work, you could just open up the other teammates as a reviewer, and then they could just give their go ahead on the review. And if there's code that you need, you could actually just merge their branch they're working on into that review branch, so everything comes together, and then merge it from there. So you can kind of work, like, I know I have you guys working in separate branches, but you can kind of take the initiative and when you have to collaborate and do that yourselves, right? Like create a separate branch, discuss it with each other, open it for review. If it looks good, and then you're like, yep, that looks good, you merge your code together, and then that's the review that gets pulled into development. Does that make sense? So you don't have to like just wait until we merge into development to see if it's going to work. You can kind of check beforehand. So yeah, just to confirm, the agent dot, like, don't create your agent.py file because it's already created in the pull request 81. So when we get that merged in, did I get that merged in? That's the one that got merged in already, right? Let me just double check real quick. No, that's when I was going to get in. Oh, what I noticed too, I'll fix this, but it's just a good habit to get into. Enrique, like you press this forward. Oh, is this showing this? Yeah, I wasn't even showing the slides anymore. Here, like you can see the test failed on this branch. So like, it's just something. It's probably like the linter. Yep, it's a linter. So just make sure you run linting before you push, and it'll fix that. So you can look at.
I just run it before pushing.
Yeah, and I can fix it. Because it is linting. It's
Okay.
really minimal. I could just fix this on my own for now. But just it's a good habit to get into to make sure you get the green check. Everything looks good.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and so in our architecture MD, spam checking for spam first is laid out there. So like it's just cost saving, so we're not doing any kind of extraction, or it's also resource saving, so we're not doing any kind of extraction on things we're going to reject as far as leaving off. But also you must follow the degradation pattern. Like we want to, like, if something isn't there, we want to handle it gracefully. So just make sure you're handling getting the same page regarding error handling, right? So that's something to look out for. You agree on the interface, but you're not really talking about the error handling at all, and how to follow to fail gracefully so we can continue with the batch. I'm the integration checker. I'm doing that right now. So if you guys have any changes right now that you in your branches that need push, please push them, and let me know. But I'm gonna work on it as soon as we get done here. So, but you guys can just pull what we have back into your branches from development, and continue working. Everything will be together. So yeah, expected commits I expect to see today in the branches, is here. I think Phantom and Nestor, you guys are there already. Yeah, but these are laid out here. You guys, we just talked over it one by one. So use today's integration checker. Gary. So what you must accomplish by end of Tuesday, Angel and Fabian get the prop greater than 2 or more prompt iterations documented. The 5-dimension ground truth label started. That's me. I gotta get that ground truth label working. I plan on working on today. Once I do get the repos pulled in, I'll get the ground truth label working for the other 3 dimensions. And then Fatima and Nestor, all 3 extractors producing output. And Fatima and Nestor, you guys got this all done, right? This is all done already? Is that my understanding that when you said you got it all done already? Nestor, you're... Oh, Nestor's not here. Fatima, did you guys get this all done? I haven't looked super closely at it, but is all your tasks done for this week already? Am I understanding that correctly? I thought someone told me that you guys were done already. If not, it's fine. I'm just wondering. Just want to see where the status is at.
We can't hear you, Fatima.
Yeah. You could type if you want, if your sounds be an issue. Just...
I don't know if you can see it, Gary. She typed in the chat.
No problem. That's fine. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Well, I've just thinking more stuff for you guys to work on. I'm really trying to. We're moving at a pretty fast pace as far as trying to replan how things go. And Ricardo dropping kind of like put a lot of, I saw it in the feedback too, and I'm aware, and I was like cringing when I had to do this. So I know it's bad. I'm trying to get a fix for it, but like Angel and Fabian, you guys kind of picked up the brunt of the work. Because Fabian, I had you working solo because we had 9 people and Angel and Ricardo were together. So the simplest path was just merging that work together. So you can see like in the breakdowns on the slides, you guys have like 7 to 8 hours of like allotted work, and then everyone else has like 4. Just because those merge books are put together. And I'm trying to find a way to kind of offload some of that work onto Fatima and Nestor so it's more balanced and they have more work to do. And so you guys' feedback on that too, and on workload, taking on more workload, Fatima and Nestor. Nestor, you're not here, but maybe you'll see this in the recording. Like, please just tell me, like, hey, I need more work, and then I might change some of the delegation from Angel and Fabian onto your team, into your pair. So that way it's not. But it's going good so far. I just want anyone to feel like they're not doing enough. Or want more substantial work, and it's unfortunate that happened, but it's just the way it is. So tomorrow's integration day. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Just to give you an update on where me and Angel are at, we finished about 3 of the 5 issues that we have, but yeah, we haven't been able to touch our run book yet because of those.
Okay. Yeah, and so let me kind of think on that. By end of day today, Fatima and Nestor, I might just create some issues that kind of overlap into their run book, and I'll just reference theirs, and like you guys can coordinate, maybe work together to tag team some of that stuff if it's going to fall behind. Does that sound like a good solution? Is everyone comfortable with that? You could just give it like a thumbs up or a yes in chat, Fatima, if that's okay with you. Because I know Nestor's not here right now. But Angel and Fabian, do you feel good with that? Like if you feel like the issues are causing you guys?
Yeah, I think if we can divide the run book amongst ourselves, that would, and we know which areas of the run book we're working on, that should be really good.
Yeah. It's just, because at that point it becomes, communication for you guys becomes critical, so you're not stepping on each other's toes. And Didn't want to do that. Like every time we start a new week, I don't want to like just like change it in the middle of the week on you guys. But if we could work together to get that, make that happen, that'd be great. Oh yeah, so tomorrow's integration. If everything's on stays on schedule, like Angel and Fabian, you'll probably be a little behind. It sounds like we won't be ready to integrate everything tomorrow. That's fine. Really, we got a little bit of lag time, right? We could, as long as we get this stuff done by early next week, it seems like we do okay. So I'm not too concerned. You guys shouldn't be stressing either. So yeah, every LM call goes through the adapter. That way we could just that way all those metrics are being caught for the audit, the cost audit log. Um, so there's new stuff being introduced here, just as a reminder. So the cost audit requires the LLM usage data from this week. So you just make sure you're going through the adapter, because if you make direct API calls, they won't appear in the audit log. We got to make sure we're going through the adapter so we capture everything. Yeah, just making sure we're splitting up the in the LLM calls. Make sure we're using the appropriate class model for the task. You know, we had that definition. It's laid out in the run books already, but just make sure you're using either 4.0 or 4.0 mini. So Haiku, I know it uses like Haiku class because it's actually referencing the README on the LLM landscape, and things are kind of referenced there. Um, Using Claude as a baseline, but we're using Azure. But you could just the mapping is pretty straightforward. They have like their low functionality fast model, which is Haiku for Claude, but it's 4.0 mini for our API. You know, in the mid range is Sonnet for Claude, but it's 4.0, not 4.0 dash mini, but 4.0 for the mid range. So we just gotta make sure those are being used correctly. And that'll show up in the audit log too. Yeah, so your tasks live in your run book. What I'll do is I got to meet with my team. Just to give you guys a heads up, after I meet with my team, I will look at the run book and kind of do a recommended breakdown based on your guys' current work for it to give some of the assigned stuff from the Angel and Fabian's run book to Nestor and Fatima, if that's okay. And I'll just kind of make a recommendation. You guys could take it, or just clarify that you're going to switch it around. But I'll just kind of take the run book and then like put little additions in there where Fatima and Nestor could pick some things up. And I'll try to keep it closely aligned as possible to the work you're already doing. So it kind of wherever your run book kind of touches the extractors you're working on, maybe we could tie it in that way. Yep. So yeah, we'll just get Fatima and Nestor helping with the workload on Angel and Fabian's side. So is there any questions? And remember, yeah, if you're stuck, don't get blocked for more than 30 minutes. You know, reach out and ask.
Oh, I think one thing that is blocking us from getting a good taxonomy reading is the 429 rate limit still.
Okay. Let me make a couple notes. Okay. So
Because when I run the eval harness, I see a bunch of 429 rate limit errors.
yep. And then Yes, okay, I got the 429 rate limit error, the run books, splitting that work up. Then I got the ground truth labeler. And finish merges. Okay. And does everyone else have a clear understanding of what they're going to be working on for the rest of the day? Once I get that rate limit error fixed, it's just going to be a setting on Azure Cloud, so there won't be any changes needed in code. It'll just start working automatically, but I'll ping in general chat when it's fixed.
So which branches still need merging from last week?
I'm going to the page right now. I'm not ignoring you. We have Enrique's branch, so 81. And then the skills extraction, Brian and Emilio's branch. It's in draft state right now. And we got to merge the current work that Fabian and Angel have into it, just so everything's in sync. So 66, 65, and 81.
Okay, but our branches need your reviewing, right? Is it done?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. That's what I'm doing before class started. I was getting it done, but I didn't finish, and we had to get together. So
Okay, just making.
yeah, I'll be done. I'm gonna work on. That's what I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna finish the merges. Let you guys know to pull merge development back into your working branches. That's my first task, and then I'm going to fix a 429 rate limit error. Then I'm going to make a recommendation for runbooks sharing from Fatima and Nestor from Ron and Enrique's work. Then I'm going to work on the ground truth labeler to get the other 3 dimensions added. So we can get some ground truth label data, and we'll probably all just take I don't know if you have the file still. If you have the original file still, that'd be awesome. But if not, we'll just split up the ones we have already, and just go in and label the next. We just did skills and tools, so then we'll have to add the next 3 dimensions to each of the job posts that were labeled. And I want to be able to like do the source span where we could click and drag to store things because that's a requirement. The span records requirement for every extraction. So we want to kind of have the field that came from the source field, and then the start and end characters of where the skill was either extracted or inferred from. Inferred is more important really because we're trying to give a baseline labeling for inferring, not just extraction. So we gotta do that for the other 3, So yeah, I'm hoping I could do that pretty quickly. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a technical debt on the ground truth labeler to get that done, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I'll have it done by tomorrow morning. Any other questions? I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks, guys.